Today, gearing up for next week's Glacier National Park workshop. What gear am I taking and how am I packing it? Hey there, it's Hudson. Welcome to this week's video. As you watch this, I will be gearing up for taking off Friday for Glacier National Park. We have a great crew of people. Rick LePage, David Archer, and I are leading a crew through one of my absolute favorite places in the lower 48. I mean, such an amazing combination of landscape and wildlife. It's just mind-boggling. So, you know, it's an interesting trip packing for, because you really need to be packing for landscapes, for rough mountainous condition, for wildlife, including bears, mountain goats, Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep. It runs the gamut. So I'm gonna dive in and start talking about what I'm taking. Just remember that all the gear that I'm talking about is linked. You can run over to my website. You can click right here, or just go to hudsonhenry.com/ATS links. Those links really help me out. And I'll throw some of the highlights in this video's full description if you click on the title or show more. And you can also sign up for our upcoming office hours. We'll do an office hours after we get back, big free photography meeting. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end, but let's just dive in. So I think one of the more exciting things I'm taking on this workshop is something I've been waiting for a long time. I know some of you have probably ordered one of these too. I ordered it the morning it was announced back in February and just got it now, 5 months later. It's an X100VI, a little Fuji APS-C, 35mm equivalent, 2.0 lens, 40 megapixel APS-C sensor. In my little initial playing around with this camera, it's been very exciting, and I will do a full review and I'll do a setup guide for this camera. This is one I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep, even though I have the Leica Q3 and love it. This thing is tiny. It's a little bit different at 35mm equivalent, and these film emulations that Fuji has in this camera are nothing short of awesome, and they transfer through in profiles in the raw files. So if you set up Lightroom correctly, they'll come out looking as if they were rendered in the JPEG form, but they're still raw files that you can fully edit. We'll talk a lot more about this camera moving forward, but I'm gonna be bringing this little guy and this little mirrorless Mover 5 case that it fits perfectly in. I'll put a link to this camera, but I can't imagine you'll get it anytime soon. This is one of the hottest cameras in the world. And I'm alongside the Q3, which I adore. This camera certainly does not replace this. And Rick and I are actually gonna trade off having the Q3 and the X100VI with us on the trip back and forth, and we'll do a little comparison of, you know, how we feel about shooting with those two cameras. So I'm going to move through the smaller things, the smaller packed things I'm taking with me first here, the easy stuff. I've got a little kind of accessory kit. This is actually a NYA-EVO extra small RCI. This can stack in on top of a medium RCI or a large RCI and a 60C. You can carry it like a little Dom key by a NYA-EVO strap if you want. I don't have these in stock yet. They're not here in the US, but I will be getting them in the next shipment, and I really, really like this little case. It has padded dividers, and what I'm carrying in here is a bunch of charging equipment. I've got a dual battery charger from Wasabi for the Fuji. I've got my Z9's USB-C charger. I've got my a little phone holder in case I'm filming with my phone. I've got my Minix little USB-C 4-port travel charger that puts out a whole bunch of power, 100-watt power, so I can charge 3 cameras in my phone at the same time wherever we're staying. I've got a little phone holder, and I've got some night photography gear. We're not necessarily focusing on Milky Way on this trip, but a number of people want a lesson with Move Shoot Move's new Nomad star tracker. This is the Nomad. I love this little guy. So I'm bringing it along to showcase to people how to use it, along with the laser pointer and polar scope that works so well with it. And of course, an Acrotech Ultimate head to use atop of it. The Acrotech Ultimate head is just special for star trackers because at that angle, it works out being sort of the perfect head to be able to get all kinds of different compositions. And we're actually selling those in our store. If you click this link right here, you can check them out. They're just perfect for whatever star tracker you're using. And I'm gonna do a video really soon. Probably while I'm gone in Glacier, you'll see a video on how to use the Move Shoot Move's new Nomad. There's nothing wrong with the original Move Shoot Move star tracker, but the Nomad does add a little some fixes to things that were troublesome with the original Move Sheet Move Star Tracker. We'll get this guy out of the way fast. This, of course, because we're gonna have bears and who knows what kind of wildlife in Glacier. I've got my 400 TC, my favorite big long lens. And I have this really cool carbon fiber Zanelli foot from this little carbon fiber outfit in Venice that I'm testing. And so far, I really, really like it. It's light, it's gorgeous. It's not cheap, but it's awesome. I'll be talking about various accessories for the 400 TC in a video before long. Including some gimbal options and comparing those to the fluid head that I mostly use with long lens work. But I'll go ahead and set this down so I don't accidentally drop it. Little joke for people who were in on that one. I got my NYA-EVO XS bag here. It's not expanded. I don't have the dry bag open on the top or the outward expansion. So instead of 60, see, it's more in its carry-on sort of 48C configuration. But I'll save that for last. It's chock full of stuff. So I'm bringing along my ultralight tripod with the Acrotech pan and tilt head on it, just in case I need to loan a tripod to someone. Maybe I'll use that one or they can use that one. I'm bringing my fluid head. We're in big mountainous terrain. I want that tall, 70-inch capability with rock claws so that I can stand on a rock and throw the leg down, or stand on the edge of a stream and put the leg in the water, stand on a steep hillside, stay at eye level. And it's definitely worth 7 pounds to me to bring this. And I got my titanium feet on there to save a little bit of weight. The new Acrotech nodal rail, which I love. That's gonna be my main tripod, unless someone wants to borrow it, which I often loan it out on workshops. And then I'm also bringing along, in case we get in a situation where we're set up photographing wildlife from a fixed position, I want to experiment a bit, play around with, and have David Archer and Rick LePage experiment a bit with this new Zanelli gimbal. This is carbon fiber from the same guys that bring you the gorgeous tripod foot for the 400 TC. Nice Italian flag on there. Again, these guys are out of Venice. This whole thing weighs 2 pounds as is. You can pull the cradle off of it and it still functions just fine. And then it only weighs 1.5 pounds. So I've got that along with a Leofoto CEX head that'll level underneath it. And we'll play around with it a little bit. Generally, especially on a trip like this, I just bring the fluid head and it works fine. Pan and tilt, twist, it works gimbal-like. But this is a fun new thing to test. And as I said, these guys are just making beautiful, beautiful carbon fiber gear that's very lightweight. So, I'll bring you more details on that once I've had a little time with it in the field, but it's fun stuff. All right, so inside my big 60C, let's delve in just the front pocket first. I'll pop my upper compression strap here. I'm taking the 60C because we are going into the mountains. It is rugged terrain. I might need to carry some other people's stuff. It gives me a little more carrying capacity. Plus, if it gets wet at all, I've got the dry bag that deploys off the top. I haven't deployed it, but that can carry wet gear or it can keep dry gear dry, and it can just expand the capacity of this bag. This is my big mountain bag for sure. When, we're in a place like Glacier, this is the bag I want. If I open the big horseshoe front part, I've got a power delivery capable battery bank, the one that I recommend for using with the cameras. This will charge the Leica, the Fuji, the Nikons that I'm bringing. I've got this cool Manfrotto battery wallet or memory card wallet that has a bunch of CF Express B cards, SD cards in there. I've got some big cleaning cloths. I've got a little shovel pocket that can attach to the front of this pack and just hold extra gear out front, jackets or something. You can use it as sort of a beaver tail. In this pocket, I've got spare batteries for my headlamp. I've got a spare battery for the Z9, which I almost never use. Every now and then I trade them out just so it doesn't go bad from sitting. I've got a few extra EN-EL15 batteries for the ZF that I'm bringing. I don't have a hydration bladder in here. I think I'll just carry a water bottle on this trip. We're not going to be doing extensive hiking, but I certainly could. In my main compartment, the upper compartment that's not camera gear, if I fold that out, I've got a cleaning kit. I probably won't carry that in the field with me all the time. It's got my per-gear power blower. It's got a bunch of wet cleaning gear. It's got every Allen wrench known to mankind and screwdriver, just in case we have any repairs that are needed. That'll be in the van or in the hotel. I've got my Patagonia Torrent Shell waterproof jacket in case we get caught in a rain squall. We can have cold dawn and evening shoots. So I've got a pair of Touch Tech OR gloves that I can shoot with, and a couple of Patagonia hats, a lightweight one and a warm one in here just in case I need that to be comfortable. Another big microfiber cleaning cloth. I got a set of 82mm filters in case I'm working with two cameras at once, or maybe I'm shooting on the tripod with a Nikon with my big 112 filters, and I'm shooting with the Leica or the Fuji with a 49 to 82mm adapter, or I'm working with two cameras at the same time. It's nice to have two sets of lenses, or two sets of filters. So I got a full set 3.6 10-stop neutral density, a circular polarizer, and a night filter, all in here with a 49 to 82mm adapter and an 82mm cap. I've got my 1.4 teleconverter for my 100 to 400, which is coming, or for the 400 TC if I really wanted to get a little bit longer to 800mm with that. I've got the NYA-EVO Rainfly that comes with the pack in case things got wet while we were away from the van. I can deploy that pack cover and make this bag totally waterproof. It's a durable water-resistant coating on this bag that's environmentally sensitive, but the real true pack cover is a great thing to deploy when it really is wet. I've used that in Costa Rica. All right, I'm gonna turn this where you can see nicely what I've got in my main camera compartment, all right? And I've got my big 112 filters. Again, these are the new revolution. I got neutral night, 10, 6, 3-stop neutral density filters, a circular polarizer, and a UV filter in case I was out in rough conditions with my 14 to 24 and just want to protect the front element of that. Sitting alongside that is the HB97 cap for those filters. I just snap that. That snaps to any of the 2.8 zooms, including the 14 to 24, also the 14 to 30, also the 51.8. It's very, very versatile. You just keep a magnetic ring in that hood and snap filters go in there and stack. I just keep those sort of under the gear divider. This divider keeps anything from the top compartment from migrating down into the camera gear. To the side, I keep a couple of spare body caps and lens butt caps, just in case I lost one or I need to separate gear. I always like to have some spare stuff. In these little zipper pockets here, I keep the 77 to 112 adapter so that I can work with any of my 77mm lenses with the 112mm filters. You just thread that on and then it's a magnetic 112mm ring with a cap. I've also got my 77 to 82, actually 62 to 82mm cap. That's for my 50 1.0 Voigtlander lens. And I've got a 77 to 82mm so I can work with those 82mm filters. And a spare 82mm cap. There's a couple 82mm caps. I've got my wireless remote control for my Z9, a spare eye cups and Zeiss wipes in that pocket. All right, so then what is the camera gear, the piece de la resistance? All right, well, I showed you I've got the 1.4 teleconverter. I've got my beloved 100 to 400, which is amazing for both landscape and wildlife. I use that so often. I'll be running around in the van in case there's bears or long distance wildlife with the 400, like ready to go, but I'll hike around in the pack with this, you know, just in case I need something in that 100 to 400 range. I've got my 14 to 24 for wide angle landscape work, secured. I've got, and I keep a little strap back there to keep that locked in as well, that 100 to 400. Got a strap right here, keeping my 24 to 120 secure in there. Both the 100 to 400 and the 24 to 120 are 77mm filter threads. So those 77 to 112 and 77 to 82mm filter adapters work great with the case magnetic filters. I've got my Z9 body right here. It's ready to pull out and snap a lens to. I've really taken to Carl Zemlin's the eye cup It works vertical, it works horizontal, particularly great with this camera. It's light, it seems to be super durable. It's been lasting me quite a while. Folds away when I tuck it in. Keep that strapped in. And then I have my ZF in here, ready to do video, ready to do portraits of people with the 51.0. I just love using this camera. And you know, I'll be doing more talking about the new Z6 III versus the ZF, but the ZF is the camera that I love to use. It makes me happy to use. And I think I'll probably be getting rid of the Z6 III. If anybody wants one with a bunch of accessories, you can hit me up. It won't be right away. I've got to do a little bit more content on it, but I don't think it's a camera I'm going to be keeping after comparing the sensor from the ZF to it and having a Z9 already in my pack. So that's what's coming with me on this trip, in addition, of course, to warm clothes and computer gear and presentation gear for the workshop folks and some swag for everybody. So this is going to be a great trip. I can't wait to show you all some images from it and tell some stories from it. We'll be bringing bear spray, but we won't be spraying any participants with it this time around. We're going to have a really, really good time. It is literally one of my favorite places on the planet, and I can't wait to get there. Now, I said really quickly I'd talk about the office hours that will be coming up afterwards. It's going to be, I think it's in early August, late July, early August. You can check over at hudsonhenry.com/office hours. You can click right here to go find all the details and sign up. Leave us a question while you're signing up. You can join us on Zoom or YouTube Live. It's always a fun, lively discussion of all things photographic. Rick, David, and I will surely tell some tales from Glacier and show some more images from that. So log in, sign up, join us, share some stories, ask us some questions. We'll banter about it. It's always a good time. So, all right, everybody. Thanks so much. I can't wait to get rolling on this trip. As I said, there'll be some stuff coming on the Move Shoot Move and how to use that new version of their amazing star tracker, which even got more amazing with the new Nomad. Links to that are in this video's full description and also over at my ATS links site, hudsonhenry.com/ATS links. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Your comments and questions and emails really do drive the content that I produce on this channel, and I appreciate all of you subscribing, liking, and sharing. It makes a huge difference. So thanks, everyone. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying creative, and we'll see you next week.